Welcome back to the Town Fair Tire 150 here in Stafford Motor Speedway in Stafford Springs, Connecticut. No changes in the front spots as we have completed 26 laps here. Eric Rudolph and Mike Stefanik are, well, they're just settling in for a long race this afternoon, or this evening, Jimmy. Rudolph's starting to come up on some race traffic, though, and here's where you've got to be careful. You've got to be careful not to abuse those tires. You see Stefanik now, and Grigas, who started on the pin, is faded back in the Wayne Darling number 52 into that third spot.
And the thing about Rudolph right now, very impressive. He's in the lap traffic now, Jackie, setting a really good pace. I'm hoping he doesn't burn his tires up. That's going to be critical here. You see him pushing the issue right here on the 80 car of Michael Spini. And here he goes, lapping him. And he is just really getting on with it right now, Jackie.
You can tell the distinctive difference between here and Riverhead Raceway, where you had to use your best friend, the Chrome Horn. Let's get an update on some of the radio chatter that our buddy Ralph Shaheen's been listening in on. Ralph?
Jack, the one thing you're not going to do here tonight is rattle Mike Stefanik and pull him out of his strategy going into the race. This is a driver who's won here on 20 different occasions in a modified tour event. He knows what he wants to do. He's running the pace he wants to run. Things very cool and collected on the radio right now. They know there's a torrid pace being set by our leader, but they're not biting. They're going with their own strategy.
Interesting. Stefanik, as we said, 20 victories here, certainly knows how to get around in this car. And I wonder, Jimmy, with what we're seeing so far, with 31 laps in the record books, all of a sudden these strategies we were talking about, if you're a crew chief, you're starting to think differently, because usually you'd at least have a caution by now.
Yeah, you would think, Jackie, we've already completed over 31 laps, and you would definitely think we'd have a caution. A lot of heavy lap traffic in turn. That allows a lot of cars to get away from one another. Stefanik having a lot of experience here. Rudolph, you know what? He is really cutting through this lap traffic. And this is going to be critical, because Ralph had said it earlier. If you are hard on tires, well, this is hard on tires. When you don't have caution flags, you don't have caution laps, you are using tires up right now.
Taking a look at Ted Christopher. He trails Bobby Santos in the National Whelen Modified Tour standings. He is currently being posted in the 4th position. Now, Christopher, also a regular here in the SK Modifieds, just completed a 40-lapper. Is there anything he could have learned in that 40-lapper that he could put into play here now?
Not really, Jackie, because the only thing he would have learned is that the track's a little bit tighter or a little bit freer from when they practiced this afternoon. But that's over with now. Those are adjustments he would have made. Now, everybody's got the same amount of time on the track, so if they do have to pit, they will be telling their crew chief, tighten me up, free me up a little bit, things like that. But, you know, the thing is about Teddy is that he has the experience here. Is he riding, or is he just sort of saying, this is all I really got? Will he have to pit, force his issue, and make some tire change?
Age 52 for Teddy Christopher hasn't slowed him down. He has won in virtually every type of car that he has raced in. And Teddy Christopher calling the Stafford Speedway his home for almost 20 years. Your lead continues to be held by Eric Rudolph. Mike Stefanik is in second. The whisk machine of Todd Zegedy in the car number 2 is being posted in the 3rd position. Zegedy is no stranger to competition here, as he started his career in SK Modified racing here at the Stafford Motor Speedway.
What's interesting to me, Jackie, is you're seeing about these guys, Zegedy racing here. He's only 24 years old. This guy here, a lot of years left in his career, but we're not seeing a lot of movement from the 4-car of Santos and the Priest car who ran second last week, and also the 14 car of Blewett. So I would have thought they'd be making up more room right now, but you see these guys, like you said, Rudolph, Stefanik, and Zegedy, Christopher, setting that torrid pace. It's being tough for these guys.
But that torrid pace is somewhat meaningless, and it's a case where, when I say meaningless, right now you look on the board, you're just about to clip off lap number 40. That means you got 110 laps to go. That's more than 50 miles on this half-mile racetrack. Nobody wants to show their cards right now. It's like playing, poker. They haven't even dealt the river card yet, pal.
You bring a good point up, and the thing is if a caution comes out, you know what happens, Jackie? This is all for naught. Not, because now the caution slows the field down, packs everybody up, and okay, do we pit or do we not pit? I believe we're going to see, when we do see it, this could go nonstop, but if it does have a caution, I think we're going to see some guys hit pit road for the heel-handling cars.
Let's get an update on the pit strategy of our leader, Eric Rudolph. Ralph Shaheen.
Well, Jimmy, you should be crew chiefing for Eric Rudolph, because that's exactly what Charlie Rudolph, his crew chief, has decided they're going to do for Eric. First caution of the night, whenever it comes, they're coming for tires.
That makes a lot of sense. Get in and then try to, as Hank Stram used to say, matriculate your way back through the field.
And let's face it, this guy, we know this guy will push the pedal. His dad, a famous racer up in New York, and Rudolph, he's on a vengeance, Jack. I'm going to tell you what, think back to Monadnock.
Led the first 94 laps and then lost again.
Yes. He's not going to lose Stafford tonight. He's saying, you know what, guys, there's one thing for me to do here. That's hold this thing wide open, and go as fast as I can go as long as I can. So I think that's what he's doing right now. Look at him on the outside here, just lapping cars left and right, Jackie. And a really unique paint on this car where he has the yellow bumper, and underneath the bumper, the yellow scoop, which that allows him, when he does hit pit road, his crew will know whose car it is. Also, his spotter will spot that.
You take a look at the lap time, and you can really see that it reinforces what my point has been, is that everybody is somewhat settled in, kind of like the big grizzly bears just going down into hibernation right now. But as you watch Eric Rudolph work through the corners, you were talking about balance at the top of the show. From my perspective, looks like this kid's got some balance in this race car.
Car's rolling the corners really well. You see the car just really entering the corner on the low side, moving up just a little bit, not real loose, power down, and just really taking a great line through this racetrack.
Early pit stop for last week's winner, Rowan Pennick. Let's go trackside.
Well, Jack, this is not the kind of pit stop you want. A lot of smoke pouring out of the hood of the number 93 of Rowan Pennick right now. Crew down inside looking to see where it's coming from. They've called for them to shut the motor off. It looks like it's going to be an early night here for Rowan Pennick.
Pennick, who finally broke into victory lane 1 week ago at the Bull Ring and Riverhead Raceway after holding off Ryan Preece, will, looks like, call it a night early. 48 of 150 laps have been completed here. At age 24, you can see the smile on Pennick's face. We have trouble in turns 1 and 2. First caution of the evening. Two cars have come together, and they have come together hard. Jamie Tomeno and Woody Pitkat have crashed just beyond the safer barrier. We will check in on what happened to those two drivers when we return. Here from the Stafford Motor Speedway, Eric Rudolph leads, Mike Stefanik.